Real quick, I wanted to shoot this video. I was on the Clubhouse app while doing some other stuff, kind of multitasking, and somebody said something that inspired the thought process that led to this video. See, if you don't know about the Clubhouse app, it's an app that's centered around audio. Only Apple members are able to get access to it. And depending on when you're watching this video, it may be everybody is able to get access to it. But anyway, I'm listening to that, and it's a lot of people who are entrepreneur minded and starting to get into building their own business. And they were talking about something centered around email marketing and things of that nature. And it made me say, or want to say, this. Anyway, what up? You got Mr. Smith, 0.5 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And in this brief video, I want to talk about something as it relates to if you're new to building your business. A lot of times people tell you that the money is in the list. A lot of times people tell you that the fortune is in the follow-up. But if you're just now building your business and you're trying to learn email marketing and data collection and building your database out, this may be an unbiased opinion. And usually unbiased opinions usually pan out. Time will tell whether or not what that person said holds truth years later. So this will be a video that may not manifest until another 10 years. But if you understand the concept of why I'm saying what I'm saying, I think you'll implement what I'm saying. So that being said, they're telling a person about building an email list and getting familiar with building an email list. Nothing against that. And I wish we would have been doing it sooner. I wish we would have been building our email. We were, but we didn't just really value it as much as we should have, because we could have had hundreds of thousands of people on our email list that we've been communicating with, sending content, free information. And basically, building an email list is basically you having a way to communicate with somebody who might not have done business with you right away, or if they have done business, you can give them some new value later. So it's a value-based communication channel of you just being able to say, hey, I want to share this with this audience because I feel as though this will benefit them. Whether you're giving away some free information, or you're giving away something or you're giving them the opportunity to buy into something that will give them value. So that's what an email list is. And what you got to understand is it's only a small percentage of people who are ready to buy your product or service right now. So what that means is you want to have some form of communicating with them ongoing outside of the social media platforms that you may be using. You might be using Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Clubhouse, TikTok, Parler, whatever it is that you're using. You might be using these different platforms, but you need a vehicle or somewhere you can take them so that if this platform decides that they no longer want to show your content, or they no longer exist, or they no longer feel that what you post is beneficial or in support of their platform, you need a way to communicate with people who have gravitated to you over the time. So what that email list allows you to do is take them away from the platform so that you can communicate with them when you feel that it's necessary at any time that you want to share something with them. So it just protects you. It's really a protection mechanism to make sure you have a way to communicate with your people. It's a powerful concept. Now, this is what I recommend. I recommend that if you're just now getting into business, if you have a vehicle to collect email and data, that's cool. But what I want you to put more emphasis on, and this is crazy. I got to start acting on my ideas because I be ahead of the game on stuff way before it's a thing sometime. But the fact that I didn't think it was nothing major and didn't act on it, somebody else act on it, monetize it. And I'm like, man, I thought of that 12 years ago. But sometimes my ideas can be too early. So I'll say that to say this. Where I feel you should put more emphasis on, if you're new and you haven't got into the email marketing, I don't want you to spin your wheels or waste a lot of time. And I say waste, but it's cool to still be building an email list. So I never tell you not to build a database that has proven itself to be true. Tyler Perry used the email list and was able to sell out of his shows, make $1 million in a weekend due to the fact he's been building his email list. So it's something that's tried and true. However, when things start to transition, you can either get left behind doing something that used to work that may not be as effective today, or you can be ahead of the curve and do something that has the same concept of what has worked, but it's just a different avenue or a different vehicle to get the same result, but you're doing it ahead of time. So instead of you spending a lot of time trying to figure out how to build an email list, if you're new and you haven't built an email subscriber list of, I recommend over 1,000. If you haven't gotten an email list of over 1,000, then you want to get bullish about what I'm about to say right now. What is that, Mr. Smith? Okay, glad you asked. Perfect. Look, what you want to do is start building your text list. Build your text list. Couple of reasons. The email ratio, just think about this. I don't even have to get into the statistics of the data. How often are you opening up emails? How many emails go unopened? How many times do you get an email notification that you just move to the side, kick out of the way, don't even pay attention to out of all of the emails that you receive? If that number is high, then the proof is in what I'm saying, because think about your actions and what you're doing, and that will be a reflection of what other people are likely doing. Think about the things you find yourself being drawn to, and that will be a reflection of what everybody else might be doing. So if you understand how you behave, then it helps you understand how other people may be behaving as well. And a lot of people aren't tuned into emails. I know it's a select few emails that I open up based on I subscribe to somebody or things that I feel like give me some value. And if I can't get to it then, I may put it on my watch later or try to figure out a way to get back to it, or never get to it at all. That's just the fact of the matter. Now, let me ask you the same question, but with a different vehicle. How many times do you not open your text message? How many times, if you receive a text message, do you open it to at least bare minimum, just show that it's not a new message in your phone? Is that ratio high? How many times do you let a message go unopened or unseen? Because it's ways to look at the message without actually opening it. So how many times do you let a text message go unseen? Mean like sight unseen, you never just open it. That chance is low. Many times, 100% of the text messages that come to your phone get seen, get open, and in many cases get read. What does that mean? Why is that important? Why am I saying this? Well, because it's a high ratio of people actually seeing the text messages, you want to be building your text list because you have a higher chance of getting your message across. Now, I will throw in a disclaimer, because text message is a little different from email. People have gotten accustomed to just getting emails out throughout the day to where they know how to shut it off. It's amazing what the mind can do. People get used to a certain thing and then they know how to brush it off. It used to stand out, but now it no longer holds relevance. Same with ads. At some point, a platform might not have ads. They introduce ads, and the ads work because they're seeing it all the time. But then it gets to a point where they're like, they know how to skip and bypass the ad. I know it's a lot of people on YouTube who ads work on YouTube, but it's a lot of people who are getting immune to it and they just can't wait to hit that skip button. Even my kids, when they're watching it, watching something on YouTube, they're like, skip ad. They ready to get to what it is they was trying to watch. Can we skip ads? So understanding how the human mind works will let you know that you want to get in a place where awareness, the word I'm looking for will come to me, where awareness, attention, that's the word, attention is. And now if you're there, you have a higher conversion ratio. Not to say don't do email at all, but put more emphasis and be intentional about building your text list. And I'm going to say that because we're building our text list. So I'm going to let you click the link below. Because matter of fact, you can just send us a text to 765 Money Up, 765 Money Up, and hopefully you'll get access to us. Now, I will say this. As it relates to a text list, you don't want to text as often as you probably would email, because it can be a bit invasive. And I say a bit, it can be quite a bit or a lot invasive if you're overbearing with what you're saying. Now, if you know, or if that person knows that you're going to be sending them something and it's of value to them, then they won't mind opening it up, because it's a good chance that people texting them now that's not giving them any value. So they will be able to determine, I don't mind sticking around on this email list because I get value. So if we come to you and say, hey, we got a Money Up message series that we're going to be sending out, Money Up messages, things that help you get your money up, credit up, cash flow up every Monday. You might be willing to subscribe to that because it's like, okay, not too often. Even if I say it daily, Money Up message, basically a tip that you can do every day to help get your money up, credit up, and cash flow up. It's a good chance you might be like, okay, that'll be worth me seeing that message on the daily. If it's just something short and sweet, boom, that gets to the point, you will be worth seeing. It will be worth seeing it. Or if it's weekly, it will be worth seeing that. So you want to be strategic about your text campaigns and make sure you're giving value. See, when you're building your text list, it's going to be centered around the value that you're able to give in a quick dose, and sometimes taking them to, hey, check this video, I thought you might like it. It's going to be a combination of those things, but you as the person building the list have to determine that A, you want to start building the list for one, and B, figure out how you're going to distribute so that you don't get, to the point where so many people say that they don't want to receive your text messages, and then it's counterproductive. So make sure you're strategic, but definitely understand the power in building your text list, because if you have a system that allows you to do it, not linked to the system that we're using, but if you have a system that allows you to do it, now you're able to build that text list, for one, and then for two, you're able to communicate in a way that allows you to heighten the chances of people seeing what it is that you actually have to say. And that's really what it's all about. The attention and the awareness that you're able to bring to what your message is, as long as it's bringing value to the individual. Don't escape that. This ain't to just build it in the sake of just texting people out and spamming. Don't get like that with the text message. And if that's what you're thinking, then by all means, forget about it. But if you understand what I'm saying, then by all means, implement it. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you take advantage of it in the text list. And I say this because I thought about the power of text messages long ago. And when I say long ago, I say almost 20 years ago. I'm mid-30s now, 35. I was 16. We was throwing little parties. Text messages was fresh. It had just got started for the most part. I remember us being fascinated with the idea of texting each other in the room. Texting each other in the room was like, man, you can send a text, because we used to call on cell phones. We took cell phones to the next level because everybody had them. We made sure we had one when we were 16 while everybody else was using pages. I'm like, nah, why would I get a pager? I mean, not everybody else, but people that were senior to us were using pages. I'm like, nah, why would I get a pager so I can find a phone and call you? Or you can just call my cell phone and now pick up, So we took that to the next level. But when text messages was introduced, I started, when we was trying to grow our party, I started making up phone numbers. I knew what the prefix was on a cell phone. We had crickets. So I had a cricket. It was crickets and boomerangs. I knew what the prefix was. The prefix in my area code 501, the prefix for a cell phone number that was a cricket was 744. And, it was a couple of other ones. It was 744. 838, 563, 541, 541 was one, and some of them were boomerang numbers as well. That I knew the prefixes, so I'm like, okay, these numbers belong to these cell phone numbers. So I know if I use this prefix, it's gonna be one of these cell phone numbers. Let me make up some extensions, the last four numbers. So I used to make up numbers, literally make up phone numbers, write them down, call, somebody answer, hang up. That's a real cell phone number. Add it. Call, hang up, boom. That's a real cell phone number. Add it. And then we text out, say, hey, party going on here, because we knew that it was people in this area who had a cell phone and was likely young who might come to the party. And we literally met people off of it. There's people that I met just because of it, people that came to the party. And they were like, yeah, we got this random text message. I'm like, But that let me know the power of text messaging back then. And that was a long time ago. So the fact that now people are gravitating to the text list, and they have been for, at least a couple of years, but now it's starting to get heightened because of the options that exist and the things that people are, the celebrities that are starting to embrace it. I want you to take advantage of it as soon as possible, because it's definitely going to set you apart and not have you doing something that works but isn't as effective. I want you to maximize your time and your efforts. So hopefully you get some value from that. Click below to use the platform that we're going to be using to build our text list. You'll see it, you'll see the link, and we'll put our text number. We're still working on our campaigns, but 765 Money Up is one of our numbers that we'll be using in order to send out money up messages to help you get your money up, credit up, cash flow up. So if you want to take advantage of that, by all means, please do so. That's all we got. That's all I got. Mr. Smith signing out.